Types of connective tissue. Pause text and illustrations for detailed study. Connective tissue protects, supports, and provides structure to other tissues. It functions in the transport of substances, including nutrients, between tissues and organs, insulation, tissue repair, support, and fat storage. Collagen is a structural protein. Fibroblasts are cells producing collagen and other fibers. Fibroglia are fibrils in close proximity to fibroblasts. Connective tissue is composed of fibroblasts, fibroglia, collagen fibrils, elastic fibers, and a colorless transparent ground substance in the form of an amorphous gelatinous extracellular matrix. This gel-like material consists of large glycosaminoglycan molecules as well as larger proteoglycan molecules and is capable of water absorption, making the extracellular matrix able to resist compressive forces for the maintenance of tissue integrity. Connective tissue fiber concentration is classified as loose, areolar, or adipose, as well as dense, which contain more fibers. It is derived from mesoderm. Connective tissues include cartilaginous, collagenous, elastic, mucous, reticular, and osseous tissues. Mucous connective tissue is an undifferentiated gelatinous form composed of the mucopolysaccharides, hyaluronic acid, and chondroitin sulfate found inside the umbilical cord, referred to as Wharton's jelly, that insulates and protects structures within the umbilical cord. Unspecialized stem cells are potentially able to develop into other specialized types of cells and are present in mucous connective tissue as well as in umbilical cord blood. The four principal categories of connective tissue are blood, bone, cartilage, and connective tissue proper. Areolar connective tissue binds and is supportive of other tissues. It functions in the infection process by uptaking excess fluid accumulation in the process of edema or swelling. Adipose tissue stores energy as well as cushions and insulates the body. Despite the lack of a collagen network, collections of adipose cells are unified by a collection of collagen fibers and sheaths, maintaining adipose tissue under compression in places, as is the case in the sole of the foot. The ground substance and protein fibers compose the connective tissue matrix. Collagenous fibers are composed of alpha polypeptide chains that bind bones and other tissues to each other. They are found in blood, bone, cartilage, the cornea, the gut, intervertebral discs, ligaments, tendons, and blood vessels. Elastic fibers are composed of elastic microfibrils and elastin, as found in the dermis present in the extracellular matrix. Reticular fibers are composed of type 3 collagen, forming a scaffold structure for other cells located in the bone marrow, liver, and lymphatic organs. Reticular connective tissue fibers support internal structural frameworks such as the bone marrow, lymph nodes, and spleen. Dense regular connective tissue from aponeuroses, ligaments, tendons, as well as the wrapping around blood vessels, muscles, and nerves being capable of stretch. Dense irregular connective tissue consists of thicker and irregularly arranged collagen where multidirectional tension is exerted, which is a portion of the dermis of the skin and the joint capsules of the limbs. Elastic connective tissue stretches and recoils and is found in blood vessels and bronchial tube walls. Flexible cartilage is a connective tissue found between bones in the ankle, bronchial tubes, ear, elbow, intervertebral discs, nose, and rib cage. It is composed of chondroblasts and does not contain blood vessels. Elastic cartilage is found in the auricle of the ear and epiglottis. Supportive and shock-absorbing hyaline cartilage is found in the rib and nose cartilage, larynx, trachea, and embryonic skeleton. Fibrocartilage consists of hyaline, cartilage, and dense regular connective tissue. It is compressible and tension resistant, capable of withstanding pressure, and is in the knee meniscus as well as intervertebral discs. Bone tissue consists of calcium phosphate in the form of calcium hydroxyapatite, possessing rigidity, high compressive strength, low tensile, and shear stress strength. His compact outer layer has few gaps and spaces, having relatively low porosity. Trabecular bone is opened and porous, cancellous, or spongy bone, allowing space for blood vessels and bone marrow. Blood is a specialized connective tissue consisting of blood cells and a fluid non-living plasma matrix. It does not bind, connect, or network with other cells. Blood delivers nutrients and oxygen to cells and transports metabolic waste away from cells. Erythrocytes are red blood cells that transport oxygen to and carbon dioxide from cells. Leukocytes are white blood cells involved in the immune system response to harmful antigenic infections and foreign particles. Platelets stop bleeding by coagulating blood. Connective tissue illustration. Mesenchymal cells differentiate into cell types specific to the given type of cell, in this case connective tissue. Adipocytes are specialized cells involved in fat synthesis and storage. A fibrocyte is an immature, fiber-producing cell of connective tissue capable of differentiating into chondroblasts, collagenoblasts, or osteoblasts. Dense irregular connective tissue illustration. Loose connective tissue illustration. Dense connective tissue illustration. Regular and irregular dense connective tissue illustration. Tendon, dense regular connective tissue illustration. Adipose, fat tissue illustration. No fibroblasts or true matrix, has few fibers. Adipocytes collect and store fat as triglycerides for energy. Reticular connective tissue illustration. Elastic connective tissue illustration. Fibrocartilage connective tissue illustration. Hyaline connective tissue, cartilage illustration. Epithelium is the thin tissue of the outer layer of the body surface, alimentary canal lining, and various hollow structures. Mesothelium is the protective membrane covering the abdomen, heart, lungs, and testes. Endothelium is tissue comprising a single layer of cells lining various bodily cavities and organs, particularly of the blood vessels, heart, and lymphatic vessels. Fibroblasts secrete collagen proteins that maintain the structural framework for tissues and function in the healing of wounds. Illustration depicting extracellular matrix in relation to epithelium, endothelium, and connective tissue. Human blood illustration. Red and white human blood cells illustration. Blue microscopic slide stain used for contrast. Bone illustration. Bone cells illustration. Osteocyte maintains bone tissue. Osteoblast forms bone matrix. Osteogenic cell, stem cell. Osteoclast resorbs bone. Bone illustration. New presentations coming soon.